Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome back to the best of 2023 in board games. And right now I'm going to talk about family games. These are games that are great to play with the family. Pretty simple concept, and I have tested them all out with my family. So lots of interesting games here. There's so many good family games that come out over the course of the year. So these are just 10 great ones that I know of. Here we go. Number 10 is Line It from Gigamic. Now the cover for this game doesn't look particularly engrossing unless you're someone who likes Uno-style games, and I think that's what this one works with. In this one, you're putting out some cards, and you are drafting these cards when you then play these cards in ascending or descending order. Of course, if you have to take a card that doesn't work, you can keep a couple in your hand to decide, but if you have to take one, you kind of bust, you'll score your cards, and then you start over again. That's it, but it's a simple concept, and there are bonuses to get extra piles of cards. And it's just very fun. It's very addicting, but also very, very light. And I think a lot of families will enjoy Line It. Number 9 is Surfosaurus Max. Yes, that cover is that ridiculous. This is from a company called Loosey Goosey Games, who tend to make fairly ridiculous style games. And this one here, you are cooperatively, as a group, making poker hands. Well, not cooperatively, because anyone who's not part of the best poker hand is going to not score any points. You play cards out in order around the table, and then you take the best poker hand of all the cards played, and those people get to keep it and score points. That's it. Really easy, really fun, and a ridiculous, silly theme people are going to enjoy. Next, we have Scorecards. Now, this is probably not the nicest looking game on this list. It's from a publisher called Play Now, who normally make baseball-style games, but this game from Mike Fitzgerald, which is essentially it works best, I think, as 2 players, but you're playing cards, and then that card will score based on all the other cards that have been played so far. So you're trying to play the cards in the right order. Very simple thing. You play back and forth rounds of it. I found it to be just a fun, engaging game that I think a lot of people have not heard of. It's just called Scorecards. Then we have Illiterati. This is a cooperative word game in which you have a lot of letter tiles and you're making words, but sometimes you're making words based on categories or just special rules that you might have. And so you're working together. These are my letters, but I can give you letters to help you with your words. You can give me letters, but we want to try to use all the letters, and I have leftover letters. Nice production. The whole thing comes together really well. Illiterati. Because the Illiterati, by the way, are the bad guys trying to destroy the human race. This is knowledge of language. Fight back. Next, we have Jokkmokk the Winter Market. Well, if you're watching this when I post it, it's happening during Christmas, and I love winter markets. Going to Christmas markets, having a great time, and that's what this is. Jokkmokk, it's talking about the Sweden Christmas market, but basically, it's a bunch of cards, and on your turn, you can take any card in front of you that you want, but you can never go back, and the person who's farthest back gets to keep going. And each card will score differently. You don't use all the cards each game. You use 6 different cards. I think there's 19 different cards in the box, something like that. So every game's going to feel differently, but it's really easy to play. Very simple, and also the theme of getting hot dogs and candy and whatever else you might knickknacks is a lot of fun. I really enjoy this one. Then we have Cosmoctopus. Ooh, Cthulhu. Except this is a cute little Cthulhu. It's a cute little octopus that's cosmically trying to take over the world and doing so in the 1950s, and you are trying to summon it because you are a moron. This is done by Henry Audubon, who's done many simple little games, and this one is pretty easy. You're moving the Cosmoctopus around, taking resources, using those resources to put cards in front of you, which make it easier to put more cards in play. It's a little bit like other games there's one called Splendor that's very similar to this, but I think this one stands up on its own and is a lot of fun, and it's actually really fun with 2 and 3, but you can play with whatever number you want. Number 4, we have a small little card game called Romy Rami, or Rami Rami, I don't know how to pronounce this. This game from Randolph, who's known for making a lot of good card games and dice games, doesn't look like much. When I saw this cover, I thought, oh, mass market, but it is mass market. All this game is drafting. You're drafting different cards and then using those cards to complete sets from your hand. There's not much more to it than that, but it's so quick. It's so easy to play. I just found this one to be that kind of game where you're like, hey, Grandma, hey, Uncle Joe, hey, Cousin Sally, let's sit together. Let's play this game. You can teach it and understand it in seconds, and yet it's not one where you're like, oh, I don't want to play this anymore. It's a lot of fun. That's Romy Rami. Number 3 is Dice Manor. Side note, Dice Manor is a Dice Tower Essentials game, which I am associated with, so keep that in mind. But I picked these games because I like them a lot. And in Dice Manor, you are drafting dice to build a manor in front of you. There's big building. You're going to put different rooms in your house, and you do that by drafting them, and then you're going to have an open house for people to come into. So you're taking dice, which will let you get the rooms you want, also let you show off the house that you have, or get more dice. Some pretty simple concepts from Garrett Herder. It's a very fun little game. My number 3. Number 2 is Chomp. This is about dinosaurs. Everybody get on the floor. This is a game in which you are drafting cards. Again, you'll notice that's here a lot, but it's really simple. And you're building this dinosaur pit in front of you. You're trying to have these, not pit, but you will have the little tar pits on your board. But you're trying to make herds of dinosaurs and not have the carnivores next to the herbivores. You're trying to follow different rules, but you're also trying to get scoring cards. So you can draft the card or you can draft this. And I like the artwork. I like the theme. I just think it's a lot of fun, especially for families. My number 1 family game of the year is Robot Quest Arena. This game from Wise Wizards Games, which come with these really chunky, cute little robots. And this is a deck building game for everyone. A deck building game is a game where you have your own deck and you build the cards in that deck. And when you run out of cards, you take your discard pile and add more, and then shuffle it and you have it again. And you're buying new cards. And then you're just running this robot around shooting at each other. So if you like the various Robot Wars TV shows, I think this one will appeal to you because that's all you do. You move around, shoot at someone else, hit them with a chainsaw, whatever. And they're robots. And if you get blown off the board, you come right back on the next turn. Super simple to play, super easy to get into. I like this one a lot, and families and adults and kids, everyone's going to have fun with this one, which is why it's my number 1 family game. What's your favorite family game? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and these are the best family games of 2023.